The EIDL Grant and EIDL Loan applications are now being investigated for fraud. It appears that the SBA has now begun investigating the EIDL Grant, which is the $1,000 and $10,000 free grant money, and the EIDL Loan applications for potential fraudulent applicants. Hey everyone, this is Sam Kwak here, one of the Kwak brothers, and it appears that the SBA has now begun investigating potential fraudulent applicants for the SBA EIDL Loan and the SBA EIDL Emergency Grant. Now, these are EIDL grant applications and the EIDL loan applications that were submitted by individuals that don't have any legitimate businesses, and they simply are lying on the application saying that they do have a legitimate business. Now, just a quick friendly reminder to subscribe to our channel for more SBA updates, EIDL Loan, and EIDL Grant updates, so definitely stay tuned and be sure to subscribe. And another reminder is that I don't represent the SBA, I'm not associated with them, I'm just making commentary as well as my thoughts and opinions as to what is happening with the SBA EIDL Loan and the SBA EIDL Grant program. An article was recently published by Washington Post about suspicious applications coming in for the SBA EIDL Loan as well as the SBA EIDL Grant. And certainly the SBA has taken notice of this. Well, interestingly enough, a large number of people living in apartments in Chicago have applied for the SBA EIDL Grant, saying that they're in agricultural businesses. So 2 months ago, the SBA EIDL Loan program did close and they were exclusively open for agricultural businesses only. So obviously you can kind of add the two together. Chicago urban apartment plus agricultural business does not mix very well. There's been so many applications like this that the SBA managers have now begun notifying the frontline workers to screen out for suspicious applicants. Now, such applications apparently have just the right number of employees to qualify for the $10,000 grant. Applicants calling SBA specifically about the grant while ignoring the loan terms. And while this may sound funny and dumb, but some applicants are even putting down their apartment address as the business address, claiming that they run a 10-employee barbershop and an auto repair shop in their apartments. Now, how stupid and dumb do you have to be to think that you can get away with that? I mean, 10-employee barbershop in a Chicago urban apartment? I mean, I guess it's possible, but to fit 10 people and 10 chairs to do barbershop operation in an apartment does not make sense at all. Now, I do blame partially for my YouTube channel because we've been advocating this program and we've been a big fan and we've been covering the EIDL loan program for a very long time. But I explicitly said that the SBA Economic Injury Disaster Loan is for businesses that are actually hurting right now because of the pandemic. I mean, you can literally go back to all of my SBA related videos and I talk about how this loan program could benefit hurting businesses, not individuals, not businesses that don't need it, not for paying off mortgage, not for buying cars, not for expanding or going and starting a business. This is not what the loan is about, and certainly that's not what the grant money is about either. I also do not, and I repeat, do not advocate for lying or defrauding any organization or individual, whether it be private or public. And at the same time, I do know that my videos have helped thousands of businesses that are hurting right now because of the pandemic, but it is a little disappointing to see that my videos have fed the wrong mouth and they're using this information to go into fraud and steal from the SBA EIDL grant. Because of all the fraudsters that are out there, unfortunately, a lot of legitimate businesses may not have the chance to be able to get some sort of funding they need to survive. And if you're a legitimate business, go and smash the like button on this video to show that you are here and to go and show us so that there is some hope to humanity. Now, for those that are watching that did lie and defraud the SBA on the application, you know who you are. It's never late to do the right thing. Now, the SBA has not commented on how they're investigating or when they're starting to do this. Obviously a smart move, because if they disclose how they're investigating, there's obviously going to be a lot of fraudsters that are going to try to navigate around and skirt around the investigation if they know how the SBA is investigating. I do have some ideas as to how they're going to do it, but I don't want to feed any ideas to the fraudsters. So instead, I'm going to go and share with you guys what SBA should have done from the get-go to have avoided all this mess that is coming about right now. As soon as the CARES Act was passed, I think the SBA should have started building an algorithm or some sort of an automated system to screen out applicants and match their information against other databases like the IRS or local state databases. So for example, if a business owner goes and applies for the SBA EIDL loan, they should have used the tax ID to go and then match against the IRS database to see if they filed the right forms like Schedule C, Form 8825, Schedule E, or other forms of taxes like Form 1020, 1020 1020S or 1065 for partnership taxes. That way, the SBA knows that the business applying is legitimate and they have filed taxes the prior year. The SBA should have also suggested you go and smash the like button on this video to help us out with our YouTube algorithm. Or alternatively, the SBA should have worked with state governments to match the business information with the Secretary of State of that given state to see if the business has been incorporated with an LLC or corporation or any other forms of legal entity. That way, the SBA has another layer of verification to see if the business is legitimate or not legitimate. Another way to have done this is to decentralize the loan application process for the EIDL loan to individual certified attorneys or certified accountants that are directly working with the business to certify whether the business is right, the business is legitimate, they've been filing taxes, and if they're a new business, the individual attorneys and the accountants could see if they've generated income or if they have the right paperwork to be known as legitimate business. Not only would this have helped the SBA verify if the business is legit or not legit, but it would have definitely sped up the process when it came to the SBA EIDL loan application. But not only that, the SBA could have paid these individual attorneys and accountants the fee instead of paying their employees. Bottom line, if you're a legitimate business that applied for the SBA EIDL loan program or the SBA EIDL grant, I don't think you have nothing to worry about, but unfortunately these fraudsters have taken a lot of the benefits away. Bottom line, if you're a legitimate business that applied for the EIDL loan or the EIDL grant, I don't think you have nothing to worry about. But for those fraudsters watching this that lied on the application, you certainly have something to worry about. Because when you apply for the SBA EIDL loan and the SBA EIDL grant, you checked off the box saying that you agree to certain terms and conditions. One of the terms and conditions reads, any false statement or misrepresentation to SBA may result in criminal, civil, or administrative sanctions, including, but not limited to, fines and imprisonment, or both. It could be treble damages and civil penalties under False Claims Act, double damages and civil penalties under the Program Fraud Civil Remedies Act, suspension or debarment from all federal procurement and non-procurement transactions. Statutory fines may increase if amended by Federal Civil Penalties Inflation Adjustment Act Improvement Act of 2015. There was a lot to read there. But basically what that means is that if you defraud the SBA, not only could you go to jail, pay fine, or both, but you can never ever get any federal program or benefits in the future. So if you screw this up by lying to the SBA and you defrauded the SBA, not only could you go to jail and pay a massive fine, but you're now prevented from taking any benefit from the federally backed programs. This could mean future federally backed mortgage programs. So there could be a potential for a lot of federally backed programs that are going to be debarred from if you lied to the SBA. So guys, please take this very, very seriously. Not only is it legal to lie on applications, but it's immoral, it's not right, and you shouldn't do it. And worst of all, you might actually be taking away something from the legitimate businesses that need right now to survive. So if you guys enjoyed this content, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more updates as far as second stimulus checks, more SBA programs, as well as investing in real estate, and check out some of the other videos that we have that you might be interested.